Hey everyone. Hey Cancer. I hope all is well. Um, Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I am a little bit under the weather. Um, but it was still put on my heart to um, read for a few of the zodiac signs today. So that's what I'm doing today. So Cancer, this is for your sun, moon, and rising placements. Check your moon and or rising placements for deeper resonance. Um, this is going to be in regards to your money and finances, as well as your relationships, whether they be family relationships, business relationships, all platonic relationships, and romance. So, in general, your relationships in general, and for the spring equinox. And we're going to talk about what's going on in those two sectors and how the spirit realm or your soul is communicating with you in regards to those two things for the spring equinox. Okay. Um, I can't 100% remember how I pulled the cards the last few readings I did. My brain has been a little bit mucky, but I'm going to push forward and I'm going to do the best that I can to make sure I pull the cards in similar order. So we are going to go ahead and start out with your money sector and what's going on with you and the type of advice that is coming out for you guys, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising signs for the spring equinox. Okay. The spring started back in March, mid March, and it ends sometime in May. So we're going to go ahead and see what advice is coming out for you guys. Give me 1 second, Cancer. I'm actually going to go ahead and close this door really quickly. My fiance is um, in the other room. So let me just go and close the door really quickly because there's a little bit of distraction out there. There we go. Sorry about that. All right, Cancer, let's keep going. Happy April. It seems like the astrological occurrences and transits in April are going to go a little bit more easy on us, especially with Mars going into Leo this month. Right now, Mars is in Cancer, so there's a little bit of conflict there. Um, so, and also we have Neptune in Aries. I mean, yes, Neptune in Aries. So again, if there are any of you guys out there who may be going through a crisis mentally or emotionally, just ride it through. Just ride it through. It's all going to, everything's going to become more clear mentally and emotionally as the spring continues. Okay. So before the summertime hits, things will start to clear up. But let's go ahead and see here Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. What's going on with your money sector? What advice is coming out? Ancestors of light, messengers of light. What messages do you have for Cancer, the sign, the zodiac sign of Cancer, or their money sector? Again, check your sun, check your moon and or rising sign for a deeper resonance. Okay, because I intend for these to resonate in some way, shape, or form for all Cancer signs, sun or the top three sun, moon, rising placements. But I do really intend for this to hit home for those of you who have Cancer in your moon or rising signs. Okay. So what we have here, Cancer, is you have windfall of abundance, which is very beautiful to see for you guys. That's great. What's interesting is this card has Santa, you know, very Christmassy, winter, Yule type of energy. And it's quite possible that you started something around winter time, December specifically, um, around Christmas time, and you are now actually seeing results. It says an increase in abundance is arriving in many different forms, some of them unexpected. Be open to receiving and know that this abundance comes to you to support your life purpose, health, and charitable work. So, this is a very beautiful, deep form of abundance for you. So, this is not just abundance outwardly, it's not just abundance with your bank accounts and what you can buy. It is also abundance from the inside. So whatever it is that you see as your purpose on your soul's path, Cancer, you're going to see abundance there. You're going to see opportunities, people that you are attracting who are going to aid you on your life's journey, on your life's path, okay, and your life's purpose. Um, I do have past readings of you, of why you are here, why you exist, and your purpose. So if you ever want to check that reading out, definitely check that out. Um, but yeah, there's something here regarding your overall abundance, not just the material aspects of your life. It's also the spiritual aspects of your life, the emotional aspects of your life. And then at the bottom, you have bountiful nature. So Cancer, this might be a good time for you guys to actually, I mean, obviously it's springtime. The weather will be warming up depending on where you are in the what hemisphere you live in at this time. For those of you who might live in the southern hemisphere, it might be fall, the fall equinox, so that might be a little bit different. But for those of us who are in the spring equinox right now, um, get outside, get outside, go plant a garden or start one. Go foraging, but just make sure if you go foraging, you might want to actually, water the plants that you're foraging from or the land that you're foraging from. Um, Sit under a tree and read, meditate, um, journal. Okay. If there's like work that you need to do, or homework that you need to do, maybe it might be good for you to go outside, Cancer, in nature and actually do your homework if you're able, that's something that you're able to do. Um, if there is any type of paperwork that you need to do, if it's feasible, if it's something that you can, do, definitely go outside and do it. I'm not saying that you have to be out in nature in a national park or a forest or anything. If you have a backyard, and you have a nice tree back there, you have a garden, or you have any type of nice sitting area where you can get fresh air and do, you know, if you don't have any work to do, great, just go out and have fun. But if there is work that you need to do, it might be good to do that work outside. I don't, that's very specific, but I do recommend, um, kind of putting that on your list for this season. Okay, let's pull another card, you guys. Like I've been telling everybody, I'm taking my time with these readings for the equinox. I don't know why I'm being led to do that, but um, my ancestors have been telling me for this spring equinox readings to take my time. So these might run a little bit longer than usual, but not too long. All right, Cancer, let's pull one more card um, regarding your money. Let's see here. Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs, ancestors of light, messengers of light, for their money and finances moving forward. My ancestors are also telling me that this card can also represent your relationships as well. So we'll read for both of those from this card. There was two cards that morning. Interesting. So the cards that kind of fell when I split the deck, um, you have card 41 and it's the Kingfisher. And it says, mourning a fleeting wealth. Mourning a fleeting wealth. So there was definitely something here, Cancer, in the past that first started off on a good note. It was going well for a while, but it kind of fizzled out. And that's frustrating, right? It could be a relationship for sure, where again, it started out beautiful and like full of understanding, full of love or passion, whatever, um, full of empathy, whether it's platonic, business relationship. This could be with the job where things seemed to start out pretty good, but it just kind of, faded, the good times didn't last. It didn't last. But what I'm getting is from this card is it was just a stepping stone. It wasn't something that you were meant to keep permanently or for the long term. Because bottom of the deck you have seasick, card E. And this card talks about, it's like you are wanting to spend time with somebody, you want to commune with them, or you want something, to last, but it's actually costing you your freedom, your independence, your integrity, your abundance, your health, right? It's costing you something. And it says that you're mourning it. So that's a good thing as far as, when it says, I don't see that you're necessarily, I mean, for those of you who are still holding on to this, I'm getting the sense that you're being shown that this is the end, like this is not for you anymore, okay? But others of you, I'm just getting the sense that you've already said goodbye. You're just kind of going through the grieving process or the process of feeling like something is missing or something like you're just disappointed. You know what I mean? So you could be just very, very disappointed, just kind of feeling like this person, maybe you thought that this person was going to be a lifelong friend or they were going to be a lifelong partner, or you maybe if this is a family member, maybe you thought that the relationship with this family member was going to go somewhere and it was going to be healthy and full of understanding, but it just didn't really last that long. So again, we are still experiencing a Mercury retrograde and a Venus retrograde. So I would say that there may be some relationships and some opportunities that we attract that come our way, but they're not necessarily meant to last. There's just some type of message or some type of information that we need to gain from that past situation that kind of came back to knock on our door and to tug at your heartstrings just so you can see the truth of what's really going on within that circumstance. So there is some truth. There is still something to gain, but it has something to do with information, I feel. Or it has something to do more with like, how do you really truly feel about this relationship or about this job or about this money making uh, journey or this money resource, whatever it is that, relationship or money. During the springtime, it's just after before Mercury retrograde ends and Mercury goes direct, um, you might walk away from it realizing that this wasn't what it was cracked up to be. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and pull a couple cards for the spiritual aspect, the spiritual communication that is being sent to you during the spring equinox or this spring season regarding your relationships and your money. Let's see here, Cancer. So this venture financially, or this experience, in a relationship, it's just not really set up to last. It's not really set up to last. Like, you getting seasick in this situation, it's like, this is like awkward territory. This is not territory that you're meant to. You weren't necessarily, I don't want to say you weren't built for this, but that's the only thing that I can say, is that this situation is just not meant for you. At least not permanently. It's just not. And you just have to kind of accept it. It's okay. It doesn't make you inadequate. Overall, it just means that, it just gives you a bigger picture of like how vast and how diverse the world is, and not everything is for everybody. Right? Not every relationship is for everyone. Right? We are not all meant for everyone. So let's see the spiritual aspect of this situation, the spiritual communication from the spirits of light to you, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. Excuse me. But overall, Cancer, like, just like this windfall of abundance, like, it's almost like you really just need to ground yourself and look around you to see what you already have is a blessing. But then again, it's like with this water energy, the kingfisher, the seasickness, it's like you're still trying to grasp something, you're still trying to fish for something. But when all you need is what you have right now, you don't need to go fishing for anything really. You just kind of need to sit with what you have and wait for the blessings to come in. You've done enough work. Okay, you have the bee. Okay, so that's spiritual, and then you have the oyster at the bottom. So we're going to go ahead and read what the bee is talking about here. And I usually see the bee as hardworking community working together. And it says, earnest, hardworking Democrat. Okay, and it says the bee personality is a delight to be around, especially when there's a team project on the horizon. Bees love to work steadily and thoughtfully until the final task is complete. They are sensitive creatures, aware of many subtleties at once. Since they are artists at heart, they usually add creative details to the overall vision. For the most part, they have bustling, joyous personalities until they are too tired from all the work. Then they gripe and then sting. When you're in balance with this card, you are content, active, and vibrant. When you're out of balance, you are overworked, annoyed. To bring into balance, mini vacation. So there's definitely energy here, Cancer, once again, where whatever it is that you've been working on, there may be a certain aspect of that project that's just not going to work out. So there could be relationships, a job, or just patterns within a relationship or a job, or something that you thought within a relationship or a job or within a business that you thought was going to take off a certain way, but it didn't. And now you might be left with, like, well, what do I do now? Do I scrap it? Or do I just continue to work until I get exactly what I want out of it? And that's where the question lies, Cancer. Do you continue to work until you get exactly what you want? Or do you just kind of toss it? Or do you kind of find a middle ground and try to understand what to learn from this setback, right? Like I was saying earlier, there's not much work that you need to do right now in the springtime, at least. Wait until the summertime and see what the messages come out for you then. But as of the springtime, the work that you've put in, the details that you've added, the heart and soul that you've put into this project or this relationship or these relationships, whatever, is enough. Just sit back and wait. Okay? There, don't overwork yourself because that's not going to get you anywhere. It's not going to get you anywhere. And I'm curious to know what this oyster is talking about because this is at the bottom of the deck. So there's a hidden message here. And it says patient, patient, secret keeper, hiding inner treasures. Okay. When you're in balance with the oyster card, I'm not going to read this whole card. When you're in balance with this oyster card, you feel blessed, generous, and masterful. When you're out of balance, you feel reluctant, gripping, clams up. To bring into balance, share something. So maybe there's something that you've really been working on, and maybe you just kind of need to tell people about it and just be like, hey, this is what I've been working on. And what I'm getting is like, you're probably more than likely going to get the information that you give about this project or whatever it is that you're trying to communicate to somebody, whatever inner doubts, inner fears, concerns, even if it's something that you really want and you haven't really voiced it to anybody because maybe you feel embarrassed or maybe you feel like nobody's going to listen to it, just share it, whether it's on social media, but make sure it's with people that you trust. But I get the sense that this information that you want to share, Cancer, um, is actually going to be received better than you think if it's shared with, you know, people who care, right? Maybe sharing something could also be like sharing a meal, maybe inviting some people over, um, sharing some drinks, just sharing time, right? With good hearted people during the springtime. And the springtime is going to last like about a month or two, right? So that's, you have some time, you have some time, maybe 2.5 months, but like you have time, you have some time here. So if you're sitting with yourself and you're just like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I don't know where I'm going to go with this. This is just like a setback and I don't know if I'm going to be able to, pull myself back up from this. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Don't clam up, Cancer. That's because when you clam up, you put your mind in a very dark place and you spiral, right? And then you end up feeling as if there is nothing above you, right? There's no way to go up. You just have to continue to spiral down. But no, stop yourself. Just stop yourself for a second and just think about it. Just think about where you are. Think about the people who love you. Look up. Look up. Think about why you started this project to begin with. Think about your life's path. Continue to think about what you want and focus on that. Okay? So important. Especially, again, with Neptune being in Aries and Mars being in Cancer, like, yeah, it can be very easy to spiral right now. Like, it can be so easy to just be like, fuck this, dude. Excuse my language, but it's like, it's so easy to get to that point and just stay there, right? And just feel like there's nothing above this. It's very easy to get stuck in that with the planetary transits that are happening. But trust me, as we are in April, things will improve. Things are going to be lighter. That ceiling is not going to feel so close to your head, right? The ceiling gets higher and higher and higher until it turns into the sky, right? Or maybe there's no ceiling. Maybe the ceiling disappears at some point and you finally see the stars, you see the sky, right? You don't feel so closed in. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. I know, especially Cancer for you guys, Mars. If you have any type of water in your Mars, um, Mars can really be a bit of a bully right now to you. Okay. But you're going to see yourself through this. Your ancestors, your spirit guides, your angels, God will see you through this. There is a way out. How? I don't know how. I just know that there's a way out. Okay, so this is just a setback. Okay, don't be distracted by the setback. Just go throughout your day. Take it one day at a time. Like I said, go outside. Go outside. Remember that there's a sky out there. Whatever's going on in your life that's making you feel caved in, just know that you're still alive. You're still out there in the world. Like there's still clouds in the sky. Birds are still chirping. Like the wind is still blowing. The sun is still coming out. The moon is still showing up. Like it's okay. It's okay. It's going to be okay. All right, one more card from the Oracle, and then we'll jump into the Tarot, Cancer. Let's see. We're going to pull from the Kali Oracle deck. You have Smasana or Smashana. Card number 1. That is a very, very intense energy. It looks very intense, but I feel like there's a message there for sure. Your hidden message at the bottom is card 36. Artha of Kali. Artha of Kali. And we're going to read these really quickly, and then we're going to jump into the tarot to talk a little bit more about who you're dealing with, what's going on with your job or with your money in detail. Okay. Let's go ahead and read card number 1. And it says, Smashana can appear when we are in difficult times due to the loss of a loved one or the failure of something we had counted on, or even a more subtle inner experience of an ending we can't link to an external event. Her presence is an indication that life as you have known it will change radically. This can be a welcome release from difficult times and prolonged cycles of suffering. Smasana is not quiet and subdued in the cremation grounds. She is wild and vital. She brings energy and aliveness to situations where there would otherwise be none. She brings about an end to stagnation that has been depleting your life force. Cancer, let me tell you something. Death is so important. I experienced the death of a loved one more than once in my life. And the first time it happened, it just felt like, why is this happening? This doesn't make any sense. What have I done to deserve this? Right? If you're dealing with the death of a loved one, or whether it's recent or it happened a while ago and you're still processing, like, why? Just remember, Cancer, when it comes to death of anyone, including our own, my personal belief is sometimes death that makes no sense is there to wake us up. Some people make their own decisions to exit this planet early, whether they actually know it or not. Okay? That's very, very deep knowledge, and knowledge that a lot of people don't understand. But Cancer, just understand, if you lost someone, understand that they had choices to make in their life. What choices were they making that you can learn from? Whether it's learning what not to do or what to do. Sometimes holding on to someone is a dangerous thing. Sometimes you need to let them go, to let the universe and God heal them. Okay, again, these are messages that You may not understand if you're dealing with the loss of a loved one, but there's always something to be understood and gained and learned. Sometimes death of a loved one can show you the type of world we really live in. What can you learn from death? Okay. That's just in a nutshell all I have to say about that. But just understand that when we pass on, there is more to the story. We don't just end. Our lives end here on this planet at some point, in some way, shape, or form. But our souls continue on. There's more work to be done. Okay, so that's for those of you who have lost someone. Okay. Others of you, if there is a relationship, a job that just didn't pan out, you have to look at it as it was keeping you stuck. You may think like, why is this person breaking up with me? Why is this relationship? Why did I have to get a divorce? Why this? Why didn't this job work out? How come I didn't get accepted at this college or, for this project? How come my name wasn't chosen? Whatever. How does any of this make sense? I'm doing all the right things, yet nothing is panning out. Like, what does this have to do with A, B, C, or D? It has everything to do with A, B, C, or D. But Cancer, the more you look outside of yourself at the tangible things that are not working out, and you just think like this doesn't make any sense, look inside of yourself. What traumas are you still holding on to that you're not speaking about? What emotions are you still holding on to? What emotions are you putting under the rug? Are you sharing what's really going on inside of you? Are you telling people like, hey, I'm worried about this, I'm worried about that? Or are you asking for help? Are you isolating yourself? Okay? Like those are valid questions to ask yourself this springtime. Okay? Now let's go ahead and read the hidden message at the bottom of the deck, and then we're going to jump into the tarot. Okay. And you have 𝑍�𓋼𝑍𝑊𝑃𝑆. So it says, in our intellectually driven society, we prefer to know the destination first and then become somewhat willing to trust we are making progress, provided we feel in control of where we are going. However, the truth of the manifestation of life's purpose is somewhat different. The often painful first step is to give up our stronghold on the how, when, where, who, and what. Only then can we drop into an instinctive, more intuitive way, which is guided from the feminine wisdom within. Cancer, you cannot control everything. I had my fiance asked me the same thing yesterday. And it was, he was just like, how can you take a step without really knowing what's going to come next? How can you make a decision based on nothing? Right? And I've had people ask me questions like that, and I've never really always had I never really had an answer for that. It was just like, I don't know. I just trust my instinct. I trust my body, and I trust my spirit. I don't really have an answer because I don't think that way, right? So Cancer, you may have a very logical, very practical way of thinking, some of you, and you're kind of like stuck in this like limbo of like the universe has you floating right now, and you're just like, where are the results? Like, where is the tangible shit that I need? I need something to build off of. I can't build off of nothing. What am I supposed to do with this? right? Like, how am I supposed to build off of nothing? And the universe is like, figure it out. You already have what you need. You're just not, you just not paying attention to it, or you just don't want to. Okay. Learn to follow your body, Cancer. Learn to follow your soul. Learn to follow your instincts. What is your soul telling you? What is your intuition telling you? Not what someone else is telling you. Not what your perspective is telling you and what your mind is telling you. Train your mind to listen to your heart and your soul, Cancer, during this spring equinox. This is how you gain true abundance, because you may have the tangible things, the things that money can buy. But true wealth starts inside. So if a relationship doesn't work out, if a death happens, if a job dies, if a disappointment happens within a job or a relationship, and you're just like, why is this even happening? Look within. You also, with this B card, the B, there's someone in your midst, there's someone connected to you in some way. Let's see who you're dealing with or what you're dealing with in detail. There's someone that is in your midst, or someone that is closely connected to you, who is connected to their soul or really deeply connected to their emotions, who has some really good advice for you that you need to reach out to, Cancer. Let's see, Cancer, from the spirits of light and abundance. Let's see what they're revealing as far as who you're dealing with. You know, I will list off the zodiac signs that I see here in the cards. Okay. Okay, you have an earth sign. Maybe you have earth in your chart. You have Libra here. And you have another earth sign, which is Taurus. So there is a mother figure for some of you specifically who has a lot of Taurus in her chart. Okay. Now, this could be the loss of a mother, and you had, what is being shown is that she had a decision to make. If you lost a feminine energy, if someone has passed away and it's like a mother, a grandmother, an aunt, a friend, or a significant other, maybe it's your wife or girlfriend, I don't know. So there's some type of feminine energy who has passed on. She had a decision to make for herself. There was some type of decision she had to make. I don't know what kind of decision that is. But she was very much connected to her feminine energy, at least on a material level. Now, there's something here to be learned from her journey, though. There's something here to be learned. What is there to learn? That we all have a choice. We all have a choice. Now, there are those of you financially, or maybe just materialistically or with your health, you haven't really been doing that well in your health. Maybe just as much as this feminine energy who passed away in your life, for those of you who are dealing with a passed on loved one. But for those of you who are just dealing with like the loss of a job, There's something in regards to your health that is attached to your money that needs to change. Is your job giving, or this career giving you a healthy work life balance? Is it giving you the opportunity and the time to focus on your health? Or is it overworking you into the ground? Is it working you into the ground? Are you feeling like you're putting in the work, but there is no, the efforts that you're putting in is not being, the results are not equivalent to the work that you're putting in? There's a choice to be made here. Either you choose, okay, Cancer, this is a choice for all of you. You are either going to choose to follow your instincts and your soul and truly live in abundance. If you want to get pregnant, if you want to have a family, whatever, have your own home, travel the world, whatever it is that you want, that's really going to grow you, that's really going to just make you feel like you're just bathing in luxury and abundance and wealth from the inside. If this is what you want, you need to ask for help. You need to make sure other people are coming along with you on this journey and helping you grow and thrive. Or you can choose this, where you're just constantly working and working, but no results. You may have some people here with you who are in the same boat. You may need to pull yourself away from this type of energy, this Five of Pentacles. You may need to pull yourself away because there's nothing left for you in this particular community or this particular frequency and this energy and this mindset. But the decision is not easy, though. That's the thing. It's not an easy decision. Your mind is kind of battling between one or the other, because the other one is going to go against all logic. It's not going to make sense. You're going to have to really be brave to choose this. Or you can choose what your brain considers the easy route, instead of facing your inner demons, your inner traumas, your deeper traumas, and go for this instead. But that doesn't look promising at all. That doesn't look promising at all, Cancer. You have to see that the world is your oyster. The world is at the palm of your hand. You have the number 2 twice in your reading in the tarot. It's all about equal exchange. Equal exchange. You have to give, you have to sacrifice something to gain. So either you're going to sacrifice this journey, this spiritual journey, for you to get this, the material that's really not going to give you much abundance from the inside. You're not going to feel 100% happy, but you'll get money. There will be some instant gratification, but it's going to be fleeting, right? Or you can sacrifice the practical, the logical, the instant gratification for a deeper meaning to life, to true happiness and abundance within yourself. Let's go ahead and clarify. Let's clarify the Five of Pentacles really quickly. Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs for the spring equinox. Ooh. Yeah, so you can continue to work for the man. You can continue to be driven into the ground, right? Let's clarify the Two of Swords. Page of Wands, clarifying the Two of Swords. So making the choice to venture out, making the choice to learn something new, to have a different perspective. Let's clarify the Empress for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising signs, ancestors of light, messengers of light. Yeah, facing your traumas, facing the fact that you're trapped and you don't want to be trapped anymore. Following your intuition with the Moon card. The Devil card is that carnal mindset. allowing yourself to be trapped. Some people, they make a decision to be trapped. They do, because that's all they know. They don't know anything other than the cage that they've been living in. But you, on the other hand, are this lobster here. The moon card is you, right? This Capricorn energy. Two opposites. Capricorn is your sister sign. So you're choosing to go from the devil to the moon, from the carnal to the spiritual, right? Bottom of the deck we have the two of wands. You have the bottom of the deck for this and the bottom of the deck for this tarot deck. Both two of wands. Get out there, Cancer. Do not allow yourself to remain stuck in this. There's nothing in this situation that didn't work out, or this situation that you can see is not working out. It's not panning out the way you thought it was. It's because it's not supposed to. Let it end. It's making you seasick. You and this energy cannot mingle, right? You can't. Communing with one another just kind of makes you feel uncomfortable. It makes life uncomfortable, but you have to open your eyes to that fact, right? All right, Cancer, much love and light to all of you. I wish you guys the very best of luck on this journey. Stay safe, stay healthy, and hope to see you guys in your next reading. Bye, guys.